Yo, what's going on, guys? Reversal here, and today I'll be doing another budget Dino deck profile. This time with Pot of Extravagance. Still blind second, as usual. Still think that's the best way to play the deck, whether on a budget or not. This one's going to be geared more towards consistency. So I know a lot of people want to play Extravagance in the deck because maybe they see that it used to be used, or people on YouTube maybe have used it in past profiles. I think it's fine in the deck. It says draw 2 cards, but I think a lot of people neglect what you have to do the extra deck to kind of facilitate it. Because if you just have a bunch of 1-ofs and you use Extravagance, it's kind of weird. You banish stuff that you need, and then you can't really play how you want to. So you have to kind of adjust the extra deck to fit it, but it's like fine because at the end of the day, you just need to get to Conductor most of the time, and then something to go with it, and you're good. But yeah, this is probably the cheapest budget deck I've done. The main deck's like literally 20 bucks. The extra deck's a little over 20 bucks, and the side deck's also like 25 bucks max maybe. So from scratch, you're looking at about $60 to $65 for the whole thing. And most of it's like bulk stuff that you can probably get for free, like the Wild Survivors, Dino cores, like literally pennies. But yeah, that's about it. I'm just gonna do this real quick. It's mostly like standard stuff. 3 Ovi, 2 Archosaur, 3 Baby, 1 Petite, 1 Misk, 1 Rex, 2 Conductor, 1 Pink, and then we got the 3 Doggerins. I like Doggerin a lot as a budget option, especially. It's a monster, which is good with all the anti-spell and eradicator and stuff going around, especially. This is the cleanest out to Arise Heart, which is a big problem. And then just in general, it just gets rid of problematic stuff. So I like it at 3 in the budget list, especially. So that's it for the monsters. For the engine spells, we got our 3 Fossil Dig, 3 Lost World, and the 1 Terraforming, 2 Pill, and 3 Extravagance. So these are your consistency cards. Lost World is literally the best card in the deck going second. It blows my mind when I see people consider cutting this card. Like half the time, even with my deck that has like Prosperities, Ground Xeno, all that stuff, that's supposed to be more consistent. Most of the time, or maybe not most of the time, but a lot of the time, Lost World is the only reason that I get to play the game. And often the reason why you end up winning the game. So I don't know why people think they can cut this card. I'm even considering playing Terraforming in the non-budget list now because this card is consistently just so broken. Then like I said, Extravagance says draw 2. It's really not much more to it. Since you're playing Extravagance, you want to be drawing into board breakers. So playing a lot of board breakers. We got 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Dark Hole, 3 Book of Eclipse, 1 Duster, and 1 Lightning Storm. Dark Ruler is probably the best like going second card for the most part right now, just as like a general card. Dark Hole is pretty solid right now as well, especially in this deck because it combos with Lost World and the babies. So in some rough hands, this can possibly help clear a board and break your hand at the same time. So it's really nice in this deck specifically. Book of Eclipse wanted something that is good against Kashtira, obviously, since that's the best deck. It's the biggest problem for this deck. And it has a lot of range versus other decks as well. And I wanted a card that has some utility going first as well. So this is it. This could also be Book of Moon if you want something that's a little lower impact, but if you want to go first post side more often than like just a few times, which I probably wouldn't recommend, maybe Book of Moon's better because it's a slightly better going first card since it doesn't have the drawback of setting your own stuff and giving your opponent draws. But going second, I like this better. And the 1 Duster, 1 Storm. I just wanted main deck back row hate, and Duster's really nice, and then just do 1 Storm instead of 2, just just for budget purposes, just because this is like a $7-8 card, so I just threw one in just to keep the cost as low as possible. But I think it's good enough to warrant having the one copy. I think it's worth the money, so it's 40 cards. The main. The extra deck, we got 3 Dolka, 2 Lagia, 1 Dugaras for the XCs. The third Dolka can maybe be like another utility card, or a third Lagia maybe, since I feel like I've been making Lagia a lot more than Dolka recently. So that's something to consider as well. For the links, we got 3 Link Karibo, 2 Secure Gardena, 1 Pentastag, and then we got the G Golem package for when you're going first mainly. These are still pretty good for link climbing as well, but it doesn't come up much when you don't have like access code and nightmares and stuff like that. So it's really, if these are more for just climbing into an Appaloosa when you can't end the game, going second more than anything. As far as going second goes, then when you go first, you want to put these on your end board, and hopefully you don't banish it off Extravagance, because if you do, then you're forced to make rank 4 UCT secure pass, which isn't terrible, but it's not great. So this is pretty like normal stuff. You play multiples of the Link Karibo and the secures because you want your pill to be live at all times. So because UCT is obviously your win condition, so you want to make sure that's live at all times. And for the side deck, this is where like most of the budget, not most of it, but like this is slightly more expensive than the extra deck, and the extra deck's more expensive than the main. So got 3 Ash. It's just solid in general. It's good versus Branded and Labyrinth specifically more than anything, but this is a good card to have. I like siding it because it's good if you go first as well. Bell, same thing. It's Branded Labyrinth mainly, and it has other applications. It's also a card that has utility going first as well. Then we got 3 Droll and 3 Nib. This is use one or the other of these. I wouldn't put both of them in because there's not enough space, but kind of just depends what you want to respect more. If you want to respect cash more, I would put the Nibiru's in, since they play into it all the time, it seems like now. And Droll's better for like random degenerate stuff, like Dark World and stuff like that, and then other rogue decks it can be better. So let's go with one of those, whatever one you get your hands on, I guess, or whatever your locals meta kind of calls for. More back row hay, we got 2 Cosmics, we got a call by for going first and going second versus some decks like Branded and Mathmech, maybe Dragons for the seal potentially. Cosmics are nice because again, you can use these going first as well if you choose to go first, or maybe your opponent makes you go first. It's an out to anti-spell fragrance, which you play a lot of board breakers, so keep that in mind post side if you want to side in a bunch of hand traps to kind of mitigate not having like to be so reliant on spells. That's why like the 3 Doggerun's nice as well. And then the last card is 3 anti-spell. This is just the best trap card to side right now, I think. Eradicator's probably better like in general, but it's a pain to use in this deck. You can do some things to make it live, but it one requires you to combo, which you're gonna break a lot of the time. Well, not a lot of the time, but like probably a fifth of your turns going first, you're probably gonna break. And then it requires you to do like the full combo too, for the most part, unless you're playing like an Overtex or something. But Overtex isn't very good, so you don't really want to be doing that. But yeah, that's about it. So I play one of these to round out the 15, depending on what your meta is. Maybe if there's not like a lot of Branded or Runic or Mathmech, Labyrinth, stuff like that, you could cut the bells entirely and just play like full combo Hatred with these. But it's just an extra option. There's 18. But yeah, that's about it. This is probably the most consistent budget version you could possibly use, to be honest. So give it a try. Let me know what you think, and have a good one. Peace.